Welcome to 28 Days and Beyond,
where we talk about our history, our heritage, and our culture.
I'm Amari.
I'm Charisma.
What up?
Hi.
What's going on?
Life.
Life?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about hair. That's such a vast topic, is it?
Beer gang, huh?
Well, I'm not a part of that, but
that's a
yeah,
good thing.
Sure.
That's probably for the best.
Sure. No, we're talking about hair.
Word.
You know, it's I'm sure you've been perusing the interwebs.
As of late?
Yes.
Sure.
So you've seen this whole push for the natural hair movement.
I mean,
or people circling back to their natural hair and just kind of exploring the awesomeness of, options that we have as Black women and Black men.
Options. What are some of these options?
Well, I mean, the beauty of Black hair is you get to play around with texture. So one day your hair can be curly, the next day you can wear it straight.
Got you.
There are options for wigs, for people that love locks but don't want to commit to it.
There's faux locks.
They're faux locks, which I've had.
I can't rock with that.
Wow.
You don't know the struggle.
I do.
No, you don't.
You're right, I do.
Because there's that awkward stage when you first start, when they haven't quite locked and they be frizzy all the time.
But I've had that stage when I went in for like a trim and then like got a haircut.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. So then as you're like growing your hair back out, you hit that awkward stage and you're like, I don't know what to do with it. I can't do anything. I can't pull it back. I don't want to wear it.
So in other words, that would, no, we're not connected on that one.
Whatever. How long have you been growing your locks?
Let's see. Maybe about 15 years.
That's
Is that
incredible.
Right? Is that, yeah.
I don't know.
About
That's
15
why
years.
I was asking the question.
Exactly, you don't know, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, about 15 years.
That's great. What made you decide that you wanted to lock it up?
It represents my commitment to my culture.
Okay.
It's like, it was a number of reasons. One of the main reasons was I was turning 18 years old, and I said, I need to finally get a handle on this patience thing. I have a softer hair texture, if you will.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed. You know what I'm saying? And
I saw the baby hairs.
You did the baby hairs?
That's like a thing too now, like laying the baby hairs.
I'm good on that part. But so I was like, this is something I wanted to get a handle on patience.
Okay.
So I would commit to this process. And it's been 15 years later. I'm still impatient, but I'm still working on it. Right?
That's okay.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that acknowledgement.
Yes,
thank you very
indeed.
much. Yes.
I mean, that's awesome though, and I really appreciate that Black hair is being celebrated. As someone that's been in, the TV and film industry, it's not always been something that has been celebrated. I mean, I remember one time it was literally 100 degrees outside, like not even exaggerating. And I had to do a segment outside. And like the producer looked at me like I was crazy because I wore my hair curly. Why on earth would I wear my hair straight to go outside in 100-degree heat with humidity? It just didn't make sense.
Word.
So then I had producers like patting my hair down and trying to get it to like, behave. And I'm like, that's just going to make it wilder. So whatever. But I say all that to say, I'm happy now that we're just embracing the diversity that comes with our hair and all of its glory.
Now that's not everybody though. I mean, there still are those struggles.
Absolutely.
Right? But in certain corners, and as far as we're concerned, we're able to celebrate ourselves.
Yes, we are.
So today we're joined by the ladies of Hair by King, and they will be taking us on a journey through, not only hair, but also entrepreneurship and more.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that discussion.
Yes, we are.
When we come back on 28 Days and Beyond.
Welcome back to 28 Days and Beyond. We are now joined by the ladies of Hair by King. We have Tanaja and Mo. Thanks so much for coming, ladies.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
So
you.
today we're talking all things hair, and we're also talking entrepreneurship. So can you take us back to the beginning of when you ladies started your business?
You want to start? You want me to start?
You start.
So we started back in 2014.
Okay.
And she basically had the connect and the line on hair extensions, and I'm like, hey, we can do something with this. We can take this to the next level. So basically, like, we came together. We started out with just like 10 bundles, and 10 bundles meaning 10 packs of hair.
Okay, because I was gonna say, for the folks out there that might not know what bundles are.
Yeah, 10 packs of hair.
Okay.
So that's what we started off with, and then it just grew, like with social media and with us being popular in the city, like it just started growing.
Okay. But what made you decide that you wanted to get into the hair business to begin with? Like, what was the catalyst for saying, okay, we need to jump into the hair business?
She was a hairstylist.
Ah.
So she already worked in the salon
Okay.
and she knew about hair. And I was just like a business mind person, and I was just more so I'm the type of person that's going to make it happen.
We wanted to work for ourselves.
Like,
we
And
didn't want
to.
Yeah, we didn't want to like work for people no longer. Like, we knew we can do more than that.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you learned being your own business, being business owners? What were some of the maybe hiccups that you experienced when you first started?
It's a lot. Like, we still learning some new ones, like here and there, like dealing with certain people as far as like, you know, hiring publicists or like other team members, like learning who and who not to trust in your business and everything. Like, it's a lot going with that, especially because we was young starting it off and we just thinking like, oh, we can just start a business, like we can do it, but we learning now it's just not that simple.
Okay. Well, you said you had a huge social media following, and that kind of helped you grow your business. We've talked here on 28 Days and Beyond a little bit about social media and how important of a tool it is. So how were you able to get such a big following just, you know, coming out the gate for your business?
Basically knowing what to post. Like, you know, like knowing, like if you look nice, your hair is nice, it's going to attract people to follow you and want to know who you are, and so on and so forth. So we both got like good following on our personal pages, and we're just increasing the following on our business page.
Okay. We are talking about hair, right?
Yes.
So, you know, did you have experiences when you were little girls with like your mom styling your hair where you thought about how you wanted to do your own hair when you got older? Was that part of what you thought about too as you got into the hair business?
Not for me.
Not for
me,
you?
I grew up in the hair salon. Like, my mom went to hair school, I did hair. Then after a while, I was just like, oh, I know how to do this. I'm doing my own hair. Like, and then from there, I went to hair school. I started off as a shampoo girl, and then here we are. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So bundles. Give us like a crash course on bundles and kind of your specialty, because that is your specialty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Give us a crash course for somebody that's walking into your business who knows nothing about extensions or bundles. What's the first thing you would tell them?
We have the best hair in the cities. No, well, we sell different types and textures. Like, we sell I can't get it out. I'm sorry. We sell a bunch of textures that can match like anyone's hair. If you have curly hair, you have straight hair, you can bleach it to any color like desire. So first I would want to know like what the customer actually wants. Like, do you want your natural hair? Do you want like a different look? Like, it'd be based upon that customer needs.
Basically, yeah. The customer's preference. Like, whatever you want, then we'll try to find something that fits you and matches you. Because some people come in like, oh, well, I have a curly texture here. I want something to match my hair texture. So we'll say, oh, we have her at the end curly. This will go perfect with your hair. You can get it wet. You can dye it. You can do whatever with it.
Okay. Well, I think one of the things that we started talking about in the beginning of the show was just versatility and the versatility of black hair, and kind of some of what you're talking about as far as textures and just having different options. So when we come back from our break, I want to kind of get more into that, and also just the relationship between hair and self-esteem, particularly for black women. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, but we'll be back with more 28 Days and Beyond right after this. Welcome back to 28 Days and Beyond. We are still here with the ladies of Hair by King. So ladies, a little bit before the break, we talked a bit about versatility and some of the different options that you have. But one of the other things that I wanted to talk about as it pertains to hair is self-esteem, right? So for a lot of black women, we've been told our whole lives that a certain texture of hair, a certain grade of hair is what's deemed as beautiful. And if you don't have that particular texture that's softer or less curly or has less coarseness to it, that your hair isn't beautiful. But now we're starting to see more black women embrace their natural hair and embrace their textures. Have you ladies experienced any of that as it pertains to, you know, owning a hair company where women are coming to you to help them with their outer appearance as it pertains to their hair?
We have, I feel like on both ends, it's like a lot of people come in because I do natural hair a lot, and I don't do no perms. Like, I can tell someone who has very coarse or thick hair, like, you don't have to get no perm. That's going to take away from your texture. I can still make it look as beautiful as you want until you want to walk out this year looking so happy, feeling so good about yourself. And then we also did stuff with women for breast cancer. We do it every year. So we dealt with women who don't think they're pretty because they don't have hair. Like, we make wigs for them. We give them wigs and everything. And they just be feeling so good about themselves. It makes us like cry and everything just to see, like, you know, we can help other people.
Okay. Have you had any experiences with self-esteem and you finding that your self-esteem and how your hair is fixed or connected?
Did I have any issues? Like me personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually have alopecia. So I have like thinning of my hair. So I actually been going through that for like some years and been having to go through like getting the needles in my head like every 2 to 3 months, and also using this cream to see if it's going to thicken my texture back up. So I definitely know what it's like to be like low self-esteem about hair.
Okay. And do you find that having your company and having these options for women
has
helped
like
you
units, because that embraced my self-esteem as far as the hair go. Like with me having my own personal problems. So like, you know, with me wearing different types of wigs, it makes me feel better and so on and so forth. But even just with me wearing weaves, like once I put the hair in my head, it just makes me feel good, period.
Okay.
So
do you find that some women only feel beautiful if they have weaves or have added hair to their hair? Because that's also something that I've at least heard from other people where they like, I don't know if you ladies have ever seen like some of the videos that they put out on social media where they're like doing a before and after, where they're adding units or adding hair, and you'll see the women in the before stages and they're like covering their faces. But then after, you know, they get their weave or their wigs, then, you know, they're happy and they're confident and, you know, they're shaking their heads. Have you guys seen any of that as well?
I think it's so weird because I'm like that. I always tell my clients, like, you don't need no weave. You can don't wear weave. Let me do your natural hair. But it's be hard because I want to wear weave and I'm doing, like, you know. So it do be hard. Like, I get where hair will make you feel better. But I try to push that to my clients. Like, you don't need this. Like, you have gorgeous hair. You can be pretty without weave. Like, 'cause I do specialize in natural hair care as well.
Okay. So what is it that you ladies really wanted to do? Because I know a lot of times, one of the things you said in the beginning was that you wanted to own your own business. A lot of times for the Black community, a lot of us have gone to the corner hair store, and most of the time that corner hair store is not owned by Black people. So, you know, as entrepreneurs, as women that are helping other women elevate their self-esteem in a variety of ways, what is one of the things that you really want to get forward, you know, for the folks out there about your business and your brand?
Well, we do have like a salon. We have like a storefront that they actually can come and purchase the hair from. So we are a Black-owned business.
Okay.
So
where are you located?
46 in Lancaster, 4614 Lancaster Avenue.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we actually are like Black-owned.
Which is phenomenal.
On the prowl, working our way up.
Good. And where can people follow you online to keep up with all the great things?
Hair by King on Instagram, Hair by King on Facebook, but it's a space between the hair and the king.
Okay.
So there's a space between there, but everything else is basically Hair by King. Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr.
Okay. So across everything, you guys have it covered. Well, I thank you ladies so much for joining us today and for all that you're doing. I look forward to coming and visiting your shop because now that I know where it is, I can come and you guys can get me all gorgeous.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you again, ladies.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll be back with more 28 Days and Beyond right after this.
Welcome back to 28 Days and Beyond.
Yes.
Hair by King.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was great. It was great having that dialogue. I think a lot of Black women and Black men have had a lot of, you know, issues and stigmas attached to their hair, particularly in its natural state. I remember growing up, and my mom's side, her folks are from the Santee tribe, and so my mom had hair like down to her butt, and it was straight, and you know, we had conversations about how when she was younger, she didn't feel like she was Black enough because her hair was straight, and then I struggled as a kid because I had curly hair, and you know, my mom's side of the family, their hair was straighter, and then my dad's side of the family, their hair was coarser. So it was kind of like I didn't know where I fit in a little bit. And, you know, for a long time, our hair was told to us that if it wasn't a certain texture and things like that, that it wasn't acceptable. You know, the whole conversation of your hair in its natural state is not professional.
Right.
Which is still happening in 2018.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, one of the powerful aspects to me was, these are two young sisters who, you know, had a passion. And I know from when I was speaking with them, they were saying that they were selling, you know, out of the trunk of their car, and it just was growing to the point they said we need our own spot.
Yeah.
And they're making it happen. I mean, 4 years in business, and as a Black-owned business, and as you raised, you know, an industry that is dominated by folks who are not us, but selling hair to us, right?
A multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yep.
I remember watching Good Hair, Chris Rock's.
Yeah.
And it infuriated me for a number of reasons, but mostly because it was him telling us that our hair wasn't acceptable. But there was a scene where he was in an Asian-owned hair store.
Yeah, I remember.
There was like a pile of hair on the floor, and he's like, "Oh, well, you know, would you sell hair that texture?" And it was like an afro texture. And she's like, "No, nobody would want that." He's like, "Exactly, nobody would want that." And it's like, how do you say that kind of thing about your own people? But I think, like you said, it was important to see us kind of taking an active role in that industry. I mean, we're spending that kind of money. We should have a stake in it.
And you know what I also liked was you know, them speaking about still, you know, obviously honoring the natural hair and sort of promoting that. You know, you don't need this, but when there are certain you know, extenuating circumstances like the breast cancer survivors,
or alopecia,
or any of those sort of things, that they're there to meet that needs. I think that was a great example.
Me too.
Of a community responsible Black-owned business.
And also, might I point out that variety is the spice of life.
Is it?
Amari?
Is that,
yes,
okay,
it is.
Thank you.
So
Please.
if I want to be a blonde on Tuesday,
oh, is that right?
If I go to Hair by King, I could be a blonde on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then if I decide to switch it up and be a redhead and be spicy on Thursday, I can do that.
Gotcha.
Because options.
Because you got options money. That's nice to know. Hey.
Well, that's another topic for a different
work
day.
something out, a payment plan or something like that.
No, but I mean, I really appreciated having them here, and I'm all about supporting young entrepreneurs doing their thing. So,
certainly so.
Yeah.
Well, this has been another episode of 28 Days and Beyond,
where we talk about our history, our heritage, and our culture. We'll see you next time.
We definitely will.